Hello, my name is Olga Kempura. I am a life coach and a yoga therapist, and today I would love to expand on the topic finding inner peace under all circumstances of life. One thing that is really important to us as humans, and it sets us apart from any other species, is that we have always a choice. What I mean by that is that our thoughts act as filters, coloring our perceptions and ultimately shaping how we feel. This doesn't mean that we should ignore reality or feel happy in the face of tragedy, but rather it empowers us with choice. By recognizing that we have a full agency over our thoughts, we can respond to any situation from a place of acceptance rather than resistance, allowing us to take purposeful, constructive action. So, one thing that is really important to us as humans is that we can take full responsibility for our inner peace. It's within our reach. And it's important to recognize three things. And that is number one, that our perceptions and reactions are always within our control. Number two, that we can shift from reaction to conscious response. And number three, this shift in perspectives frees us from being victims of our circumstances and empowering us to respond from love, compassion, and acceptance even when faced with difficult situations. When it feels difficult to act from a place of love, compassion, and acceptance, especially in challenging situations, we need to start practicing small, intentional steps that can gradually make this shift more natural. Start with self compassion. It's hard to extend compassion to others if we are critical to ourselves. When facing difficult emotions, pause and acknowledge it is okay to feel this way because these feelings are valid. And this simple recognition softens resistance, allowing room for acceptance and grow. Shift perspective to understanding. When frustrated by others, try to consider what might be motivating their actions, asking what might they be experiences that I don't see. It can generate compassion, shifting our viewpoint from judgment to empathy. Reflect on personal growth opportunities. Ask, how can this situation help me grow stronger, wiser, or more compassionate? Reframing difficult situations as opportunities for growth supports acceptance and opens us up to the possibility of positive transformation. Remind yourself of the power of choice, remembering that we always have a choice in how we think about and respond to situation is very empowering to us. So ponder, I can choose to respond with love and acceptance even if it feels challenging. This conscious decision shifts responsibility to us and reinforces a more compassionate approach. And lastly, practice gratitude reframes. When faced with challenges, gratitude can be an anchor. Ask if there is something in this moment I can be grateful for, even if it's small. What is it? This focus on gratitude can gently shift thoughts from resistance to acceptance and even appreciation. I would like to take a sample of a soccer team. Um, Imagine a soccer game. Two teams play their hearts out, each striving to win. When the final whistle blows, one team has scored higher. But true victory isn't about one team triumphing while the other is belittled or discouraged. Instead, the real strength comes from recognizing each team's effort, courage, and skill, the journey they shared, regardless of the scoreboard. It's not about us versus them. True progress isn't found in victory at the expense of others, but in raising each other up, respecting the strengths and contributions of all, and seeking common ground that unites rather than divides. A team's win doesn't mean the other team was worthless, and a loss doesn't mean that players should hold anger and resentment. So, in every competition or challenge, we have the chance to look beyond the immediate outcome and recognize shared values, common dreams, and the dedication it took for both of us to arrive there. This outlook creates a foundation for mutual respect, understanding, and moving forward together. And so, as we move from the field into our shared future, we can ask, how can I, how can you build something together? How can we find what we agree on and honor each other's journeys? I really would like to expand on 14-day Thanksgiving challenge here. It's a beautiful practice that is helping us to set our lives not only during the time of Thanksgiving holiday, but even throughout the year to come from place of grace, compassion, and love. The practice number one that I would suggest is gratitude as a habit. So anchor the gratitude practice to habits that you already do daily. These habits should be automatic on your part, like eating, sleeping, or going to the bathroom. You wouldn't forget to complete any of these actions. So by attaching your gratitude habit to one of them, you won't forget to perform it. When anchoring, your goal is to practice gratitude before or after you complete one of these possible habits. Like waking up when the alarm clocks go off, can our first thought was the thought of gratitude. When we have our first cup of tea or coffee, can we take this cup with the attitude of gratitude? When we sit for our meals, can we start with thanks in our hearts? When we first walk into the space of our work, before we sit down and start work, can we start with the gratitude in our heart? And then when we hit the pillow at the end of the day, can we also close the day with gratitude in our hearts? Practice number two is every night for the next 14 days, set aside 10 minutes before you go to sleep. And number one, write down 3 things that went well today and why they went well. You may use a journal or your computer to write about the events, but it is important that you have a physical record of what you wrote so that you can look at it each day. Next to each positive event, answer the question, why did this happen? For example, if you wrote that your husband put air in your tires, write, because my husband is really thoughtful. Or because I remember to call him from work and remind him to stop by the grocery store, he was able to buy the grocery. I would like to close with this beautiful quote from Oscar Wilde. The smallest act of kindness is worth more than the grandest intention. And so I would like to invite to all of us to really reflect on this beautiful season we are all in, when we can realize that we all of us rise each other up by being compassionate, kind, and loving. Thank you.